Yeah, so at some point you get to that point where you're getting antsy, you know you've been in a place too long, and it's just time to go. And that's me. I've been in Mexico since 29th or 30th of July, I think. Don't remember exactly. Too damned long. We stayed longer here than I thought because we're trying to get my girlfriend a visa. Don't even ask, okay? I've got bad things to say about Mexico and about the UK in that under that topic, so we're not going to go into negativity. But the bottom line is, she doesn't have a visa to enter this country, and that's that. So I'm leaving, and I'm going to Guatemala, and I want it's time. I'm done. I'm tired of doing shit work. I don't mind doing shit work. I really don't. I don't mind jumping into this locker. This is locker number 2 that needs to be painted. So today, first, watching Sam Holmes sailing. He's my motivation in many ways because he's a much younger guy than me with much less experience, frankly, than I have in many things. I think I'm probably much more sound technically, blah, blah, blah. And yet, his skinny ass is out there doing this, you know? And I say, by God, what the hell am I sitting in this marina for still? It's time to go. So, today's get underway day. So, let me show you some of the things we did. First, I reinstalled my temporary depth sounder. You know, that had been hit by the big catamaran a couple of weeks ago, well, a week or so ago. But I wanted that set up, and now I've got that baby going. Okay. And I'm going to install this mount, which is for my auto tiller. And I'm going to install my emergency tiller, which is a red handle. That goes in a round hole in the floor. And that's what the auto tiller acts upon. Okay, so that's going to be a just-in-case device. I don't know that I'll need it. I shouldn't need it. It's only a 4-mile sail today. And that's the top of the rudder post itself. This is a toe that I think I broke. Okay, not much to this. The end of the tube just fits over the rudder post like that. I had to drill holes in this seat to make this work. But then when I get to some place, I don't want holes in my seat because water gets in. So, except I didn't bring my hammer. So that's that. I leave it plugged in. The breaker is off. That supplies power to that jack. And I leave the tiller mounted on the temporary mount that I made because there really is no other clever way to do it that I thought of. But I do not connect the movement arm on the tiller. There's a hole in the bottom. I do not connect it to the tiller. I just leave it sitting off to the side so that I have free wheel and I can turn the wheel as I like. Because I need to separate short power. And of course get my hair done and then start engines and then kind of review in my mind which way I want to separate all these lines in which order because I might be doing it by myself. Today's a short hop. Behind me is the Mexican mainland. That's Punta Sam and I'm leaving Marina B&B now and I'm heading for Isla Mujeres, which is where I've been before. But I'm going there because I've never anchored this boat for one thing, and I want to anchor the boat. Even though I'm a little bit nervous about it, you know, because I always worry, what if the anchor drags? What if the anchor drags? And it might. This anchorage does not have good holding ground, we know that. And the winds shift a lot here. So, two things that make this a challenging anchor situation, but that's exactly why I want to force myself to do it. Just gorgeous today. Look at that water. I'm going right into the wind now, so I'm not going to try to sail yet. When I clear the channel, I might. Beautiful. Beautiful. If this were a place you had to spend the whole winter, then I could. You could do a lot lot worse than Cancun. Getting set pretty hard to the north, so I'm steering about 20 degrees to the right of my course. Well, let's talk about course and heading some other time. I have to steer about 20 degrees right of my target to get to my target, because I'll get pushed sideways probably almost as fast as I'm going eastward. For example, what you're looking at is showing me on a course made good about 070, but I'm steering 090 based on what I'm looking at in the land and my compass. You get by with a little help from your friends. That's Mark and Pisca, from my friends from France. They've anchored here a couple of times and they're leading me to a known good spot. Okay, so that boat you see in the distance there with the dinghy heading up, that's Prisca and Mark. They're from France, and they're my friends now. We've become pretty good friends, and we help each other out. And that's kind of the part of the deal when you're in a sailing community. We all help each other out, and everybody has different skill sets, but everybody could use a little help when you're dropping an anchor and hoping it holds and all that. So they knew what some of the good spots were, and I just would not have known that. So they're going to head back to the mainland for a couple days, then they'll be back, and then we're going to go into one of the marinas and you know, have a couple of social nights. But today for me, I'm staying on the boat. I just dropped the anchor, just shut the engine off, and I'm going to go ahead and jump in the water, put the dinghy down, put the ladder down, jump in the water, and swim on top of my anchor just to see if she's buried pretty good. I was going a little bit too much in the head direction when I set it down, so I don't know how she's sunk, so that's when I go check. And if I don't like it, I'll start the engine back up and back down hard and try to seat it better. Well, hi there. It is Monday, October 18, 2021, time 14:29. I'm not doing day 1, day 2, day 3 now. This is pretty much the way I'm going to be. I left the marina, which was not too far from here, only about 4 nautical miles. I mean, it's not like I had a voyage today, but it feels good. I'm out of the marina, I'm sitting here at anchor, and I'll be at anchor for 2 days. It's kind of like a fast cruise for you Navy guys. I'm not sure if all Navy guys did it, but a fast cruise is when you take a ship and you disconnect your shore power, you disconnect your water, your phone lines, all that hoo-ha, and you kind of get the crew into an at-sea routine. Kind of what I'm doing here. I mean, I came to, and I've never anchored this boat before, so that's something I wanted to get done with. I wanted to see, well, do I have the strength to pick up and set my anchor? Is my anchor gonna drag? And am I confident in the anchor? All that stuff. And I didn't know, and I wasn't confident. So I'm not leaving the boat. I'm staying right here on the boat, even though I'm in Isla Mujeres, anchor. Then I am gonna go into a marina for a couple of days just as a social thing, and then I'm off to Guatemala. So today, just enjoying life. Well, I think I'm about as ready as I can be. I definitely admit to being nervous. Shit, that's not even the right time. 0220. 0220, October 25. Getting back underway from Anchorage. I'm not worried about the sailing or the driving or anything like that. I think I'm just worried about the actual getting clear of the anchorage without hitting anybody. There's a guy right behind me. I think once I clear the harbor, then my stress meter goes down, just like it did when I left St. Pete. I was nervous just leaving the marina, going through all the goodbyes and all that stuff. But once I got out into the harbor, I really didn't have any stress the whole trip. I mean, frustrations with the weather or this or that, but not like scaredy cat anxiety, which is what I kind of feel now, and it was difficult to sleep, so it's just as well that I get moving. I'm not planning to use Genoa. because I think I'm going to have to tack once or twice to get out of the to get around the head. To get there, I have to go pretty close to the wind, so I might have to tack my way out. And the Genoa doesn't like to tack because I have the staysail up, the stay. So I could take down the whole staysail rig, but what I'll do is just go with the staysail instead, because that's self-tacking. So I'll do one final walkthrough, and I think the only things left to do is to start the engine and go pull up an anchor and point and go. Yeah, so it's crazy. I don't know why this is getting me so anxious, but I think it's because I sat here for 3 freaking months, and that's maybe the real lesson learned is, God damn it, you can't turn into building D23 every time you get somewhere. I've got to make some rule that says, man, and we're going to do it again. We're going to Guatemala, and we're going to do a haul out. That could take every bit of 6 or 7 weeks, and I'm going, shit, I'll have the same kind of anxiety when I'm first getting underway from there too. But I guess that's one of the things, that's why I do this, is to learn more about myself and to get over it. Or if I am simply going to be a nuclear version stress case, then I'll just be one of those cruising bums that go someplace like right here in Isla Mujeres, or I'll go to Luperon, or go someplace where you can tie off from mooring and stay for a year and just not sail and just live the easy life. That's okay too. Yeah. So for now, let's just safely get underway, start pointing south, and make the best progress we can. That's all we can do. We got a 2-knot current in our face, and it's anyway. That all said, a long entry's made. Approximately 2:20, 2:30. Gonna get underway. Let's go do it. Perfect, but it's working. Oh my God, I need a cup of tea. October 25th, almost 7 a.m. Behind me is Isla Mujeres. Okay, you can see it over my shoulder. In front of me is the hotel zone on Cancun. So the basic plan is to get further from the coast. You can see right at that, there's a brown hotel and then a white one. That's like a knuckle. That's almost like a 90-degree bend, and I need to go that way. And I want to hug the coast out around 60 to 100 feet deep of water. That's where they say if you get to less than 100 foot of water, you're going to avoid most of the north-setting current. And if I can sail like this on the opposite tack, of course, make about 3 or 4 knots, then I can make Isla Mujeres today. Not Mujeres, Isla Cozumel, which is where I'm trying to get to. That's about 30-35 miles that way though. So I need to make my turn in another 20 minutes once I'm sure I can keep a tack, keep the sails full. So that's the basic plan. I'd rather reach it and not do a close haul, but whatever. We'll see what I gotta do. But for the moment, I'm just grateful that I'm not using the electric auto tiller. The boat's moving slowly and steadily. I'm not injured. I have good health. I'm able to leave the wheel for a minute. And the north current just was really fighting me, so I motored most of the way because if I was going to tack it, the wind was right at my nose, so I'd just be tack, 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 and I tried that, and I was going backwards. So I just motored it, and with engine RPMs that normally make about 4.5 knots, I was making 2. Hi there, update. I'm busier than a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. But I thought I'd grab the camera real quick. difficult right at the moment because I can't get the balance on the sails just right. So I have to tend to the wheel right now. And there's a really shallow reef over there and I don't want to hit it. I'm quite close to land. I'm only about 2-3 miles. You can see behind me probably. But I'm not far out there. So I need to be very, very cautious. And I'm nervous about that, of course. I'm wondering how the hell am I going to sleep if I'm this close to land? And I don't know the answer yet. So, anyways, so it's all good. Location is about halfway between Cancun and Playa del Carmen, or halfway between Isla Mujeres and Isla de Cozumel, where the cruise ships go. I'm not going to make it there before dark, I don't think. The time is 12. It's going to get dark in about 5 hours. And I don't think I'm going to make it to Cozumel. And if I had been able to make it there before daylight ended, I was going to anchor for a day or two. The location I'm going to is in Guatemala, and the path to get there requires me to get really, really close to the shore. And that's because of the current. So the current, if you go further out, there's about a 2 to 3 or maybe 4 knot current going north. I'm trying to go south. So I do not want to be way out there. And over the years, different captains have learned that if you want to avoid the currents, you stay closer to shore. And I have a copy of a guidebook. The name of the captain who wrote it, it's a difficult name. I'll put it on the screen here. But the captain is a woman, and she and her husband cruise this area a lot, apparently. And her tip was stay within 10 fathoms. You know, that's your depth. So if your depth is less than 10 fathoms, she says you're going to stay out of that horrible current, and you'll make much, much, much better time. Yeah, it's Tuesday, October 26th. I know you can't see my good-looking face. It's just as well. It's been a long 24 hours. Okay, and so I'm the only light out here is a compass light. Right. Okay, so I've returned back to Mexico. I checked out of the country. I shoved off and was going to go to Guatemala, and I got my ass kicked by 2 things. Hang on a second, let me adjust the wheel here. Yeah, let's go inside. Oh yeah, we're rolling around. Big rollers out there. Okay, so it's been about 24 hours. It's October 26th. It's midnight, dark 30. It's like 2 a.m. I think 2:30 maybe. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Well, there's some goods and some bads, as with everything. I mean, really, I had a lot of great things happen to me today, and I'm thankful for that. At the end of the day, however, I turned around and am coming back now. So I'm on the way back. I'm going to anchor somewhere near Isla Mujeres and just sit and relax for a day or two. I haven't decided what to do yet. Here's a big problem. Well, here's the situation. The temporary depth sounder I installed failed under use because it got clogged up with so much seaweed that it put a lot of strain on the cable, the communication cable, and I lost my data. I lost my ability to see what the depth was. And you think, well, so what? You know, suck it up, sailor. There's this north-setting current, and the strategy to avoid it is to hug the coast. And honestly, I mean, like right on top of the beach. And the professional captains who've done this many times say the answer is to get in about 60 feet of water, like 10 fathom line, and just follow it and stay in about 10 fathoms the whole way. But when you don't have a depth sounder, that's kind of dicey. So that's really the rub. I was doing a great job of staying inside the 60 fathom line, and everything was great. And then I look up, and the depth number was flashing, and it wasn't working. And I'm like, oh my God. So I peeled off and went out in the deeper water just to make sure I didn't crash into anything. But then I couldn't make any headway against the current. And honestly, I tried for 4 hours and could not move this boat. Then I said, oh, fuck it. And I turned on the motor, and the motor could barely move me. Moving a lot sideways, but I really wasn't making any progress. And by my math, I would have been sitting there for about 40 hours trying to go 20 miles because I was making about a half of a knot good over ground. And that's when I said, you know, even if I made it past that one island, I still am not going to enter the Belize waters, which are only 20 feet deep, you know, without a depth sounder. So I wheeled around and came back. And I'll be back in Cancun in another few hours here. You know, first, obviously, I'm just going to sleep, take a shower, clean the boat up, and then decide what to do next. No need to see that. Okay, so we're at the anchorage in Isla Mujeres right now. Yeah, I like you. So over there. Hey guys, so as you can see, I successfully made it back. I'm in Isla Mujeres still. I jumped in the water first thing, checked on the anchor, looked with disapproval at my depth sounder transducer, and then I took a freshwater shower and hit the rack. My friends over to get me because they knew they'd seen me pull in, or they'd seen my boat at anchor, so they came out to get me because it was more. They knew that it was necessary that I cancel my check-in right away, and I had been planning to do it the next day after I slept, but that wasn't going to be a good idea. So I got the check-in canceled, and now I'm officially back in Mexico, still on my 6-month clock, and it's all good. So the schedule looks like right now I think I'm going to stay in this area long enough to haul the boat out and install some proper depth sounder, and while I'm at it, probably paint the hull, and if possible do some of those hull penetration valves. That's what I hope to do. It all depends on prices, it depends on the boatyard capability, blah blah blah. So we don't quite know the story yet. I still plan on going to Guatemala after I get my depth sounder indication, and I'm going to give it another go and go right back down that channel. Excuse me. So it's all good here. I'm actually in very good spirits. I'm very pleased, in fact, that I didn't have any reservations about turning back, you know, because I think another person might have been hijacked by their own pride and all that hoo-ha, and I didn't do that. I thought, you know, the sensible thing to do is just turn back. It's only about 8 hours to get back, so, and to kind of regroup in a place where I'm getting a little more familiar. So it's all good. So I'll keep you posted with another video, if especially if I get the boat hauled out, because I think some people will be interested in seeing what she looks like out of the water. So it's all good. And No complaints here. Take care, everybody. Bye.